Best advice I have for people is just that I have to give up on worrying about all the incidences from my past and the people I've met, whether they come back or not. I'm not really into meeting new people and going many places. I'm having problems fixing my life, and I can't do it by myself, and I got tired of asking for help, so I'm just lucky living lifestyle as best as I can, but I'm not blocking anybody from being in my life. It's hard to see people talk to each other nowadays. We're having troubles reaching out to each other because everybody's on their own schedule. That's why people say we leave our life in God's hands, because we can't rely on the devil's world. It's the devil's only out here. The people are just out here cheating and ruining each other. Oh, there's a little bit. Want to be petted? Want to be petted, little buddy? No. Well, we can't feed you. It's good to see you come and visit. See, that's one of our cats. She always runs away. Here's Tangerine. Tangerine loves to be petted. He loves to be petted. Besides, I'm happy with the companionship. I'm still relying on being the person I always am throughout anything. It's sad to see what life does to people, but what was I supposed to do? You wonder why people turn to trinkets or prayers, because we're so misguided. We don't know what's going on with the planet. You wonder why we do half the things we do. I'm not saying what I done was justified or make things right, but I don't know the true reasons behind things. I only know what I went through and seen with my own two eyes, and what I know from 80% of life. I don't know all the answers. My brain is still going through changes, and everything else is going through changes, so I'm still learning how to deal with society and dealing with my own sad thoughts and just living life to the fullest as best as I can. I'm less partying because I want to be focused, and I'm worrying about getting full-time jobs. I need something, put myself out there in the public. I'd like to start new legends like everybody's doing, and creating creativity, and I like to do skits, but every time I do these photography things, I'm always by myself, and I always end up by myself. So at least I can live on with passing a part of my knowledge kept documented on the internet to show part of my life documented down like an autobiography or an auto book. These are just the little outskirts of my memories, the biography version of the things I've been through. Sorry I don't have a lot of footage, and I don't have better graphics and all this high-tech wisdom and intellectual and beautiful music. And I have music on Sliders Chronicles from YouTube, a picture with a DJ, a cartoon character on the picture frame. It's Sliders Chronicles at YouTube, and Clutch DWD3 from Rap Chat, and Chakra Magician from Rap Chat. That's KLUTCHDWD3. That's official nicknames that they gave me to use, and I kept the stuff going. There's different playlists on Sliders Chronicles. There's supposed to be fandom versions that I'd like the system in the world for all of us to see when they come out with the original copies. Now, I made a fandom version of the Ouija board Resurrection, called it Ouija Resurrection. Now this, I put out the name before they ever came out with the movie. And I had nothing to do with that movie, but I made a version just like that, which is coincidental, but it's just doesn't make any sense for me. In my book, it seems like everybody's out to steal and cheat and lie and take everything away from each other, that I don't even want to do business anymore. I don't want to flutter around. I don't want to meet people. I want to meet my own kind, and I'm tired of relying on the devil's world. I'm trying to do my best, and I'm tired of relying on God's world and humanity. It's just getting spectacularly wrong in every direction, and I'm just doing as best as I can, and I know it's not people's fault, but half of it is and half of it isn't, and I'm tired of being a part of crap. Why don't people stand for this stuff and start telling each other that, we got to look past people's problems, because everybody in America has problems. Don't act like you're all perfect angels. When you see all the stuff on the news in each other's neighborhoods, you know life is crappy. So you don't come at me expecting me to be a perfect automatic angel and have everything that absolutely everybody else has. You're comparing me to people that are way out of my league. It's just messed up, but at least I could tell the fans before I die on what happened to me in life, and that this is what I went through, and this is part of the reasons why I'm going through what I'm going through. I've had nothing but bad luck since I started this photography stuff, and it has no choice but to turn around, because that's the only thing that's left out of life. Whether it's from my hands or somebody else's hands. When you make wishes off of trinkets, if you watch from every videos and scriptures and all the knowledge, it works by off of the person that makes the wishes. It doesn't go by society and their opinions. You know the rules to all this stuff, world, so I don't get why it's so messed up. I don't understand it all, and a lot of it was accidents and not my fault. Some of it is, but, there's nothing more greater than fighting for love. And if that means I had to go through sins and mess with trinkets, then oh well, that's a part of business. You can't rely on the rest of the world like everybody can. I noticed there's a verse in the Bible about scorpion, and Jesus talks about people that does witchcraft, but it doesn't say anything about those that are involved in traps, people are trapping people in witchcraft, just like they're trapping everybody else in every other subjects. So you got to realize, before you judge me, you got to understand the things I've gone through in life. You can't just stand on the outside and sit there and talk crap and say, oh, you're this and you're that, you're nothing, you're this and that. When you don't listen to people's stories, you don't get any information, and you get left having to go to the next life with all them sins that get brought up anyway, or all the facts that you destroyed people's lives. And it doesn't matter if you don't care, man. You got to have a sense of humanity about you. You got to have a sense of respect. These are all old details. I'm tired of repeating the crap in each of my videos. It's because I'm always mistreated this way, and I get sick of fighting and telling people to stop doing this stuff when they just do it anyway. So then I'm just going to do my life and do it positively, whether I'm liked or loved or not. Life's going to be coming in my hands, because I'm the person that has to deal with the wishes. And it's not even just about magic, man. It's just not even about faith. It's just plain English. It's plain common sense. It's plain things that just happening in this reality. And we're going to be going through thousands of different things and different changes. And each and every year that goes by and every day, there's going to be millions of changes during these years, and all kinds of new battles and all kinds of new people in each other's lives, and maybe new relationships and new jobs for everybody, and higher paychecks and higher wages, and all this great stuff that we fought for is just going to end up coming true anyway, because it's desired that way. Life's not meant to test people. It's just meant to happen how we do things. If we weren't willing to do the things we set ourselves for, then why would you even tell the public that you want to do this type of stuff or be a part of this stuff? It doesn't make sense. I understand the world's full of liars, but who cares anymore? If they're going to sit around and lie, then they're going to get in trouble and caught up in their own mess. Well, all these people that are out here fighting battles and telling the truth, we all got scars and scenarios. Just because we're not military soldiers doesn't mean we're not involved in battles and all types of missions that are through life. It's just a part of life. We got to keep our mottos, whether we have the medals or the faith crosses or not. You still got to keep the mottos, whether you have the degrees or not. You still have history in the earth. No matter how many times you start all over, you still are the same person. You just changing your effects on life. You're just changing what you're going through, and there's no reason why that doesn't have to happen. It's just a part of life, it's all craziness, but I'm not afraid to share anything with anyone. Like the song Renegade, never been afraid to say anything to anyone about anything. That's just the way how life is. That's just the way how I swing my, there's not a thing I wouldn't tell my family, my ex, my friends, my associates, the people I've run into in life, the doctors, lawyers, companies, any friggin' person alive from here to California. I wouldn't be afraid to tell anything because I only have myself to answer to. I don't have anybody else. I'm my greatest weapon, my greatest lover, my greatest enemy. But I'm not the only one with this perception on the planet. So you got to give us some faith and understanding and forgiveness. If I made sins and I'm all this bad of a person, then you got to forgive me. You can't just sit around and hold grudges and punish me when you're not even in my same shoes. So how do you know what predicaments I'm involved in when you're just going by other people's stories on life and faith and magic? You're not actually putting yourselves in those shoes, in those battlegrounds, to seeing how it has happened. Maybe you're warned about all that stuff, but don't talk crap about people that's involved in that stuff. Because one day it can happen to anyone. And then we'll see what the stories go. But until then, I'm never going to have an ending for life and in my stories because people don't want to intervene, and people just don't want to come back in my life. So I've given up on all my wishes, my goals, my experiences, and keeping count of enterprises and enterprise and entourages and worrying about all the basic things. I don't care. I want to influence myself and other things like other grown-ups are doing that I admire, and I can do anything that I put my mind to. I've already done all this stuff so many times before, whether I lived it in reality or done it in photography, my autobiographies. It's just the way it is. It's just how I express myself. I'm trying to get past all this bridge and gap that seems to be set up in my life. So amen to that, and let's have greater, more days for the next few years.